Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I turn off my phone. I know it's been a minute since I've been here, and I know no one is demanding an explanation, but I don't mind that. I want to explain why it's been a minute since I've been here. But of course, I want to give a few people opportunity to get in here. So come on in. Come on in if you out there and you feel like it. Come on in. Say hello. Hello. Hello, how you doing? Come on in, say hello. I feel like I keep hearing a phone ring. It would have to be my phone, but I feel like I keep hearing it. Terry, good afternoon, Terry Anderson. Good afternoon. Tina, good afternoon, Tina. I always like to see Tina, Terry. I like to see everybody. I like to see everybody as you come in. So just come on in, say hi. That's really all I don't even require it. But that's all I kind of ask of you is to say hi and to be willing to open your mind and think. Even if it's about nonsense, just be willing to open your mind and think. So come on in, say hi. Let's see. We got my OSHA. I like it. It's a nice hat. Lady K, hi. Butler Brown from Cartersville, Georgia, in the house. Anthony, how you doing, Anthony? Good afternoon. Daryl, good afternoon. Yeah, I'm back. I'll explain. Again, no one has demanded an explanation. I'm going to explain just because I think it's nice to explain to people where I've been and why this may continue for the next couple weeks. Quintano, in Mount Auburn experiment. All right. Let's see. Tina says I had to tune in today. Oh, why? Nothing amazing is going to happen, I don't think. James from Forest Park. How you doing, James? LaDonna in the house. Sean in the house. Let me see. Sean from Atlanta, right? Anthony don't want to hear no excuses. Maria, good afternoon. Shirley and Andrea and Jennifer from Michigan. All right. Mike Ballard. All right. Mike, you got married, didn't you? I thought I saw where you got married. Congratulations, bro. If I'm not mistaken, I know it's been a minute. It's like a few months ago. But I thought I saw late that you had gotten married. And if that's the case, congratulations to you, bro. Daryl says that hat is so Prince purple. It's a nice purple. Jason, yeah, we need to connect because I need to get you the shirts. You saw they're done. He saw them. I sent him pictures. He saw them. They're done. I just need to get them to you. So I'll try to connect with you tomorrow because as soon as I leave here, I got to run and do some more stuff. But as soon as I leave here, I do that. So tomorrow, I'll get with you. D says, what's up? What's up, D? Tina says, you never know. It's Monday. Yeah, you never know. Hold on now. This thing keep jumping on me. Edward says, good afternoon. And Shahara. You say your mama said Shahara, but I'm telling you how it's spelled. She says, afternoon, everybody. Happy Monday. Checking us out from Bond Hill. Courtney. Hey, what's up, Courtney? Courtney, checking us out. Diane, good afternoon. And Crystal, good afternoon. Veronica. Oh, Veronica. And Brent, checking us out from Dallas, Texas. Okay. I think it's like enough people on here to at least do the little explanation. Then as people come in and they start griping, then y'all can explain it to them. So maybe I won't have to explain it 12 times today. Maybe I'll only explain it like 4. So here's what's been happening. I picked up this part-time gig and, I'm helping a guy do his show. And the show has appeared on BET a few times. And, I help with a lot of different stuff, editing and even just the whole production of the thing. I help. I'm not the producer. Technically, I'm the associate producer. If you see the credits which you can't see on BET because they fly by so fast. Like I have to, I'm stopping my story in the middle of the story to tell another story like Donald Trump. I was watching it on BET, and at the end, I paused it, and no credit, and pause it, and unpause, pause, and I missed it, and then I had to go back. It took me like 5 times just to find my name as, the associate producer of this show. I'm like, why do they do the credits so fast? Like, they do them fast. Anyway, back to the story. So I'm helping him do this show. And, we worked out a schedule. And as we worked out the schedule so that if I need to take the little baby to school or pick the little baby up from school, I have time to do that in the schedule that we worked out. And we agreed to it. And it had been working pretty good. But without getting into his business, because ain't none of y'all business his business, some things are happening that he has to handle. And so he asked me if I would be willing to work around his schedule. And many times he doesn't know what his schedule is going to be because of the issue that he's dealing with. He doesn't know what his schedule is going to be even from hour to hour. So he might call me and say, hey, why don't you come in at 1 o'clock this afternoon? Well, hey, can you make it in at 2:15? Or hey, can you? And I mean, I could kind of balk at him. No, man, we agreed. But why would I do that? I mean, he pays me well, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And he's what he's doing, and even what he's going through is an honorable thing, and so I respect that. So yeah, I'm functioning on his very much in flux schedule. So as he calls me, I don't know if y'all remember this, y'all might not know this. A few weeks ago, for like 2 weeks straight, he would call me and say, don't even come in today. It's too much going on, and I don't have time, and we can't do anything. And I would say, okay. And he would pay me anyway. And I was like, you don't have to do that. And he was like, no, because you're trying to honor and respect me. So I'm trying to honor and respect you and your time. And, so, hey, if he say to me, come in at 2:45, guess what I'm doing? I'm going in at 2:45. If he says to me, come in at 9 o'clock this morning, I'm coming in at 9 o'clock. It's a thing. And in a couple weeks, hopefully everything will be situated and we'll be back on our regular schedule. So that's why I was only in here one day last week. And I think one day the week before. I'm in here today, but I don't know what'll happen tomorrow. So that's what's been going on. I ain't just trying to like play y'all like y'all ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm just working with him. He's working with me. And, we gonna work it out. We're gonna work it out. So that's that. Nobody demanded an explanation. Nobody, well, a few people did, but I'm not even worried about them people. I just want y'all to know, because y'all support me in doing this. Y'all come on here, on I guess lately a semi-regular basis, and listen to me ramble and go back and forth with me. And, we have a little fun, and we talk about sometimes serious issues, sometimes nonsense, but y'all support me. And so I like to let y'all know to some degree what's going on. Is it Alfonso Wesson you're working with? No, it's not Alfonso Wesson. Alfonso won't hire me for nothing. No, I'm just playing. I've never asked him to hire me. I've never reached out to him about it or any of that kind of stuff. So I'm just teasing. Because then somebody would be like, so I was watching Emanuel and he said that you won't hire him. What you got? He think you got beef with him. And then Zoe be calling me like, hey, man, what's this? Why we beefing? And I'll be like, Zoe, man, you know how people are. I was just teasing. So Tina says, I need your help for my show. Tina, you reached out. Didn't we? We talked. Okay. I'm going to reach back out to you. I remember what happened. I will reach back out to you maybe tomorrow. It won't be today, but maybe tomorrow. Because you don't really need no help with your show. You just need a few little pieces, and then you can do all of that stuff by yourself. So I'll help you with those pieces, no doubt about it. Daryl said, making that money. We adults. Some of us understand. And I know that. I know a lot of y'all do. A lot of the overwhelming majority of y'all do. But I still, just wanted to put that explanation out there. All right. Let me see. What else was it? It was something that I wanted to discuss. Hold on. I got to pull this up over here. I got to do this here and do that there. In the news, let me see. A juvenile was arrested near Kings Island. A juvenile was arrested near Kings Island, had a handgun and 12 bullets. That's the headline in Cincinnati.com, the Inquirer's website. Apparently, a 17-year-old was arrested Saturday near Kings Island on a weapons charge. The person was carrying a 9mm pistol and 12 bullets. 12 bullets. Operations were temporarily suspended in the action zone Saturday night after Mason police received a report of a suspicious person outside of the park. The teen from the Cincinnati neighborhood of Westwood was arrested. Police said they recovered the gun, a Smith & Wesson semi-automatic, the ammunition, an iPhone 8, and a Nike fanny pack. Okay, pause. We're going to get to the teen and all that kind of stuff. But people wearing fanny packs again. Fanny packs is back in. Teens. So if you see a teen with a fanny pack, it would be a little to assume, oh, he might have a gun. I thought they normally just carried it in their waist. But he put it in a fanny pack? Convenient, I guess. He ain't got to worry about it falling out accidentally. He can just zip it, open it up, pull it out. But that just sounds weird to me. I didn't know we was back to carrying fanny packs. All right, back to the story. The charges listed on the report were receiving stolen property, having weapons under disability, and obstructing official business. The report does not offer any details about these charges. All right. Well, hold on. Let me put the little chat overlay on. Put the chat overlay on. Diane said you can't go anywhere without somebody carrying a gun or shooting. And Lady K say they've been wearing them. So the fanny packs is back in. Interesting. My sister Brini, hey, good afternoon. Sierra says, I wear a fanny pack during my photography gigs to carry gear. That's different. You ain't just like at the amusement park walking around with a fanny pack, which I get it. They're convenient. You know what I'm saying? You strap them on. I just didn't know they was back. Yeah, my daughter was at a Kings Island on Saturday. She said it was a lot of teens up there without adult supervision. She said they were wilding. Okay. I don't have a problem with teens being up at Kings Island without adult supervision. No problem with that at all. Even when my parents would take us to Kings Island, we never stayed with them. We always broke off into groups and went and did our thing, once we were old enough to not be with them. And I'm trying to think back to an age I can't really say. I know definitely junior high school, but I mean, even some elementary school stuff. We were young because, Pops worked for GE for many years. And so we would always go up there for GE Day. That's when it was a whole lot of employees worked at GE in the 70s. Whole lot of people worked at GE. So GE Day would be packed. And we would just break off into groups and go do whatever it was we wanted to do. I don't have a problem with people, teens, running around Kings Island without adult supervision. And I'll be honest, when my daughter was a teen, when my son was a teen, I didn't want to be hanging around at Kings Island. If I take them, I drop them off, they do what they do, and then I pick them up. if we went together, they could really only kick it with me if they wanted to hit the roller coasters and stuff. Y'all want to do kiddie land and stuff? Have fun. Well, y'all, teenagers don't want to hang out with their parents, and when you get opportunity, a lot of times as a parent, I didn't want to hang out with my teens because they teens. So I don't have a problem with that. Now the gun piece, that's different. The gun piece is different. Brittany says fanny packs are making a comeback. All right, I didn't know that. Mayosha says my niece carries her gun in a fanny pack sometimes. I don't know if that's being honest or if she being silly. Fanny pack equals gun bag. Tina says you was at the shootout last week off Pippin. Are you saying like you happened to be in that area, or were you with one of the factions that was involved? I'm not 100% sure what you're saying there. Angela says they never left. Yeah, they did. Fanny packs left. Fanny packs were not, no. Fanny packs were not in for a long time. I do not. I can't ever remember wearing a fanny pack, even though like I wouldn't be against it for convenience sake, but I know they wasn't in. David checking in. All right, David. Ben says they wear purses now. E-man, where you been? No, that I saw. And I thought I talked about it even on the air. I was somewhere and a dude came in and I want to warn everybody before I finish this story. I need to warn y'all. Oh, let me move back over here so I'm somewhat centered. I want to warn y'all. I got to go back to being me. Like, I've been trying to be nice and somewhat politically correct and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm still not going to try to be offensive, but I got to say what I feel and say it how I feel it. All right? So if I get canceled, I don't even know what that means for somebody like me. Hey, you cancel me. You can't cancel me. I'm me. But I was somewhere and this dude came in. He didn't look gay. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look gay. But he was carrying a purse, like a lady's purse. Like I don't know how to pronounce this stuff. Dolce and Gabbana? Like a Dolce and Gabbana purse. And I was like, his girl got to be coming in behind him. You know what I'm saying? He is carrying him. He got it strapped over his shoulder and everything. And I'm like, he don't look gay. Like I thought, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't even like a manly, if there's any such thing, like a manly purse. It was a little purse. And I was like, what's happening? And like I said, he was, just act like it was normal. Like he wasn't ashamed of it or nothing. And I was thinking, is that a thing? And then I talked to y'all and y'all said, yeah, it's a thing. And then I saw it happen again. And again, dude didn't look gay. Now I know some of y'all thinking, what does it mean to look gay, Emanuel? There's a look gay. It's a thing. Looking gay is a thing. It is a thing. You say what you want to say. It's a couple news anchors here in Cincinnati who, when you see them and you hear them on the news, you know that dude gay. They happen to all be black. I haven't seen a white one, but they happen to all be black. And look, I ain't hating on them. I'm happy that the black dudes is getting to be news anchors and weathermen and reporters and all of that kind of stuff. But it's some that are like, you can tell, like he gay. He gay. And if he ain't gay, why is he acting like that? You know what I'm saying? And y'all can say it can seem to be insensitive or whatever, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I know they wearing purses. But I didn't know they was going back to fanny packs. I didn't know they were going back to fanny packs. But apparently dude had a fanny pack. He had his gun in there and he got arrested. I don't understand the whole 12 bullets thing. He had a gun and ammunition. What difference do it make the literal number of bullets that he had? Like, I don't know why that was a detail in the story. But if you got somebody walking around with a gun, you kind of expect that they gonna have some ammunition, right? Or at least I do. I expect there's gonna be some ammunition along with the weapon. I do. Now, the question becomes, what do we do about it? What do we do about it? Of course, look, the simple answer is, parents, monitor your child. You know what I'm saying? If you got a teenager, so my kid ain't in the, check his fanny pack before he leave. You know what I'm saying? You might have to pat him down before he leave. A lot of times people, my kid ain't this, my kid ain't that. You know your kid is one of the hellraisers. People be fronting like, oh, my kid would never do that. You know good and damn well your kid is that kid. You know that. You know good and damn well. You've been getting calls for bullying since your kid was in the kindergarten. You know, my kid wouldn't do that. Stop it. You know your kid would. You know your kid is. Check them out before they leave. But because most of the parents, and I'm not gonna say most of the parents who got kids carrying guns, because that's not fair. Because I don't know. But I would think some of the parents just don't care, or they support that type of behavior, and that made me think, like, look, we got to do something community wide. I don't know how to do it, but we got to do something. We are losing the moral battle. Oh, hold on. Hold on a second. Let me do this. Go here. And there. All right. So I had to pull up. If somebody calls 513-717-5464, then I'll be able to see and deal with the caller. But back to what I was saying. We are losing the moral battle. I would argue that the overwhelming majority of people watching me, the overwhelming majority of people who are watching me right now, y'all are probably on good standing morally. I like to think that. I like to think if you can rock with me, you're not running around being a menace to society. That's just what I'd like to think. I can't prove it. I don't have any statistics to say so, but I'd like to think you're not running around and your kids ain't running around being menaces. I'd like to think that. But we losing our moral battle here. And I don't know what we do to change minds and hearts. Oh, it's the music. The music is a part of it, yes. Because the lifestyle that they're selling leads to a lot of this lack of morality, okay? Hold on a second. I see a really long, really long, Bernard. What's up, Bernard? My man, Bernard. I thought I saw you got married too. Did you get married too, Bernard? If so, congratulations. If not, it might have just been like, oh, I found the one. So even if that's the case, congratulations to you. But I thought I saw where you got married. But he put some stuff out here. People will be lovers of themselves. 2 Timothy chapter 3. He laid it all out for you. He laid it all out for you. Janice says, no one is ashamed about anything today. Today, you can do or be anything you want. This is why we see all of these atrocities happening. And now we're losing the moral battle, and that is a huge part of it. There's no such thing. You get shamed for shaming people. I had a conversation with a young person, and young, about 20, mid 20s. Think about 26, 27. And this person was telling me they don't believe in shame. They don't believe in shame. And that me and my friends, my peer group, we don't believe in shame. We do what we do because we want to do it. And if later on we figure out that maybe we shouldn't have did it, or it was the wrong way to do things or whatever, then we don't do it no more. But we don't do shame. And they begin to ask me, well, what is shame? What is your definition of shame? And I'll be honest, I had a hard time trying to explain it to somebody who didn't understand it. Like, shame is that feeling of you're doing something wrong, something that you ain't got no business doing. And there should be some feeling of conviction, like, this is wrong. I like doing it, but this is still wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be seen doing this because I don't want this attached to me, because I know this to be a wrong thing. And this young person was telling me, even if it's wrong, if I've made a decision to do it, what difference do it make? I don't care. And who was somebody else to judge me? And I'm like, we're society. We are society. That's what we are to judge you. We are supposed to have a set of standards that we expect everybody else in society to live by. Now, the bar is low on the standards. Because, I understand the idea that my standards may not be your standards. I understand that. So we're not talking about, I guess it is all subjective, but not necessarily subjective stuff. Like shooting people just because you mad at them because you don't like what they said or how they looked at you. That should be wrong. Like across the board. That should be wrong. Well, who are you to tell me that I can't shoot somebody because I don't like the way they look at me? Society. We're trying to run a normal, sane, free, safe society. I should be the one as a society to say, yeah, that's unaccepted around these parts. We're losing that battle. And I think partly we're losing that battle because we have bought into the idea that nobody can judge. Y'all don't know how much I hear that. Who am I to judge? Who are you to judge me? You can't judge me. Yes. It's my duty to judge you. It's my duty. I can't condemn you like spiritually. You going to hell. I can't do that. But I can judge. I can look at your actions and determine whether or not those are acceptable actions. That's a part of my job. It's a part of my job. But we're losing this battle, y'all. We're losing this battle. And when we determine, or when we allow it to be determined that we can't judge and we can't dictate what's right and what's wrong and all of that nonsense, we end up kind of where we are headed further into the abyss. Nikki says, this is a conversation we started 15 years ago. Nothing has changed. And can we change it? Can we change it? 20 years ago, I remember 20 years ago, I used to say this a lot. This generation is lost. This generation is lost. Talking about, the people kind of my age and under. And I was like, this is just a lost generation. And people was like, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. And I'm like, look, I acknowledge that as a whole, probably 99.9% of humans don't do horrible things. In our community, probably 99.9% of people are just doing what they're supposed to do. You know, you get up, you go to work, you know what I'm saying, you pay your bills, you love your family, you do what you can to support and protect the people that you love and who are around you. I understand that. How do we reach the other, 0.5% or whatever? Because again, I go to the same thing that I say about police. You can't tell me 99% of police are good and only 1% are bad when they all standing around and watch a bad officer be bad. Again, there is a difference. There is a difference. Hold on, R-Dub. There is a difference. I didn't take an oath to uphold whatever. But, I mean, even parental. I had a conversation with a parent because their child was wilding. And they looked at me like I was crazy, like, how dare you say this stuff to me? And I was like, hey, look, you might want to rein that in. Because that's unacceptable. This wasn't a relative or anything. It was, a person that I know. And I'm like, you might want to rein that in because that's unacceptable. And if that behavior continues, that child going to grow up and they're going to be out here in these streets doing the stuff that we all talk about shouldn't be done. And how you going to talk to me like that? How you going to do my child? And I'm like, again, it's my responsibility. But am I supposed to just watch you basically raise a hooligan? I don't think I've ever actually used that word. I'm supposed to watch you raise a hooligan and just be all right with it? No. And this person was exceptionally offended. We might not be friends anymore. You know what I'm saying? But I had to say it. I had to tell the truth. And I think there are enough people who ain't saying it, who ain't telling the truth to the people that they know. And this person is a little hood. This person is a little hood. And so I think this child watches them be a little hood, and then they take the hood to the next level, and then the parent think it's cute because it's a preteen. Because it's a preteen. And I'm like, you baking that hood in. And I think a lot of us, I want to say all of us, but a lot of us, you know what I'm saying? Your personality develops and then you become like a teenager. And then it magnifies. And then eventually you get a little older and then it kind of comes back down a little bit. It's during that period where it's magnified that trouble happens. It ain't magnified yet with your child. But when your child get out there, your child is going to be out there. But they didn't want to hear me. They didn't want to hear me. I ain't going to stop saying it until they completely cut me off or listen. Because I think it's that important. I saw somebody say each one teach one, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. And I don't even remember what triggered me to say it. I remember I thought it for a while. And then I thought, I can't just let this keep going because this child is going to be out there dead or something. And then this parent going to be, oh, my baby. I mean, he never did nothing to nobody. And I'm like, no. You raised that. You thought it was cute when he was acting. But then he got to get out there and put it in practice. And it ain't cute now. Um, let me see. R Dub, who refuses to call in. I really wish you would just call in one day. It would be wonderful. R Dub says, I remember you once said rap music did not lead to violence. What changed your stance? First, I don't ever remember saying that. Although, I kind of still feel that way. Rap music doesn't lead to violence. What rap music does, though, is rap music puts a lifestyle out there. It puts a lifestyle out there. And it's up to parents to teach their children, teach the young people around them in their sphere of influence that, number one, that's a fantasy. These are storytellers. A lot of them, the overwhelming majority of them, are probably not living that life. And even if they are, they ain't cool, because that ain't cool. But I understand that's, if you haven't been teaching that to your child from the beginning, it's hard to allow them to get caught up in a fantasy lifestyle and then tell them, oh, no, that ain't real. And expecting them to just be like, oh, okay. It's hard to do that. I don't blame rap music for violence. I blame bad parents and some bad children for their actions. But I do understand that rap music, not just rap music, but I'm only saying rap music because he brought it up. But rap music can help, kind of lead you in that direction. I mean, but it would be the same if, I remember when, and I don't watch movies like that anymore, but like we had Menace to Society, we had Juice, we had, there were a number of different movies that people would say glorified violence and all of that kind of stuff. And if you feed kids a steady diet of that, number one, you do normalize it. And like I said, if you don't explain to them, this is just for entertainment purposes. See that guy? This is him not playing that character. See, that's not really him. That's not the way he lived. That's just a character that he plays. And if you don't do that, like you think, oh, my child is smart enough to figure that out. He or she might be, but he or she might not be, and they might get caught up in it. So I'm not necessarily saying it leads to violence. Rap music is the blame for that. No. But it contributes. Yeah. Especially some of the stuff that's out there now. And I'm not even talking about the stuff you hear on the radio. The stuff you hear on the radio is tame. All you got to really do is be riding around and listen to the stuff that the people playing so loud that you can't not. Like when you roll up your window because you don't want to hear the music in the car that's rattling next to you. Instead of doing that, listen to the lyrics. And you'll be like, oh my God, what the? Yeah. So it's not even necessarily the radio stuff. D says, I blame the internet. It's too much access. The stuff on the internet can lead to, all of this stuff is it can contribute to the issue. The question becomes, what do we do about it without? Because this is always I want to do it. I want to figure it out without becoming part of the problem. Because when you like you're having this conversation, it's easy for somebody to come in and hear a portion of a conversation like this and be like, see, even they think that their kids is out of line. Even they can't control. No. I'm not piling on kids. black kids, young teens and all that. I'm not piling on them. I don't want to do that. That's why I try to be very try to choose my words carefully, and I try to say all the time, like I said earlier, it's a very small percentage, like 0.5%, if that are out here doing this stuff. So I don't want to paint all of our kids one way. Our kids should be able to go to Kings Island and have a good time. You don't really believe, somebody probably does. I don't believe that the only person, even right now, the only person who's taking a gun to Kings Island is a young black child. I don't believe that even for a second. Not even for a second. He's the one who got caught. I don't believe that even for a second. Tina says, stop blaming everyone and everything but the parents. You're saying that to other people, right? Because I think I just spent like 10 minutes blaming the parents. So I'm just going to assume you were talking to somebody else. But a large part of it is a parental issue. Check your kids before they leave the house, if need be. Teach your kids. But what's his name? He got a street named after him. Downtown in Overland Rhine. I hate that I can't remember his name, but no, not Ezra Charles. There was a fight. Gunshots rang out, and he got hit. Derek Turnbow. Teach your kids to run away from violence. When I was growing up, I'm admitting I don't think I ever ran away from violence. I never. It's a fight. You know what I'm saying? I was like a white person in a horror movie. Oh, let me see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the fight. Then people start shooting. Yeah, I was a little older. I don't want to see the fight no more. I don't want to see the fight no more. Because people pull out guns and shoot. See, that access to guns, or at least, I don't even want to say that. Wasn't it? People didn't have access to guns. People did have access to guns. They weren't as readily available. They weren't as readily available. But teach your kids to run away from a fight. Ain't no punk. I ain't running away from no fight. I'm not even necessarily talking about running away from a fight where somebody is threatening to fight you. I'm talking about an altercation happens and you go the opposite way instead of saying, ooh, I want to see. These are all things that people have to teach people. Or, sometimes they learn the hard way. Which is horrible. But look, we losing. Because if you think about it, think about this. Juvenile arrested near Kings Island. It doesn't say in here the race of the juvenile. It doesn't say the race of the juvenile. It just says the teen was from Cincinnati, neighborhood of Westwood. I'm functioning under the thought that this is probably a young African American. I'm functioning under that premise. I could be wrong. But what ain't in this story is how many teens was there that didn't have guns. How many teens was there just doing what they needed to, what they do. Just teens. Riding rides, trying to get numbers. Now, do they get numbers anymore? Trying to get Instagram handles and all of that kind of stuff. Because that probably ain't ever going in. That ain't ever going in. But that ain't what grabs the story. And then what paints the picture of the young people. But if you probably look at the number of young people who were there compared to the one who was arrested, you'd be like, oh, it really is a very small percent. But, if he gets up in there and something jump off and he reaches in that fanny pack, I hate to have to say that out loud. And I actually did the motion for unzipping a fanny pack. Don't make me unzip this fanny pack. You know what I'm saying? But hey, and if he had to unzip that fanny pack and pull out that gun and start shooting, like y'all know what? It was a mass shooting down at, is it Pyatt Park? Down at Pyatt Park. There wasn't no mass shooting. I would have heard about that. Yeah, 3 people got shot over the weekend. 3 people in one incident. That is like the definition of a mass shooting now. None of them died, but they were all shot. R-Dub says, I called in when you worked at the Buzz and you said rap lyrics did not cause violence. I'm saying right now, rap lyrics don't cause violence. Rap lyrics don't cause violence. I was on the opposite side of your view. That hasn't changed. Rap lyrics don't cause violence. Dale says, yep, you're correct. It happened down at Pyatt Park. Yeah. By the way, I'm pretty sure it wasn't an AR-15. It wasn't an AR-15. For all of y'all who want to stop the mass shootings. Want to stop the mass shootings. Ban the AR-15. One just happened down at Pyatt Park. But, going anywhere, you know what I'm saying? You got to have your head on swivel because you don't know. You don't know what's going on anymore. But yeah, no, I saw that story and I say all this stuff. I don't have no answers. Y'all know I don't have the answer. To me, the answer is simple. A part of the answer is simple. Parents, raise your children. Raise them right. Raise your children. Raise them right. Know your children. Know your children. But I had 4 kids and I raised them all the same way and only that one turned out that way. And you didn't know him. Because you didn't do what it took to get him to understand the same thing that it took he's different. Maybe. Clearly. Know your children. Some of them you got to be a little rougher with. Some of them you got to be a little more gentle with. Some of them you know what I'm saying? Know your children. Know your children. And raise your children. Raise your children right. You can actually teach your kids right from wrong based on your view. They're going to change that anyway when they grow up. They're going to decide what they think is right and what they think is wrong. That's going to happen. But you have to know your child, teach your child your view of right and wrong. And sometimes that's the issue. Sometimes the issue is the people who teaching right from wrong are not necessarily the people we want teaching right from wrong, because they are the people who are doing the wrong. People who do wrong, they have children, and then they raise those children. And sometimes they teach those children, and then those children adopt what their parents believe to be right and wrong, which is bad. Now, sometimes they reject it, but you got to teach it. I'm sorry, CK. And I had pulled it up just for that reason. I said, I'm going to pull it up because if CK called in, I want to be able to answer the phone when he called in. CK, you can call back. I had to go back to the story, but I got the call software up. So you can call into the show now. Daryl says it starts with parenting. I think we need more free parenting classes throughout the country. I guess that couldn't hurt. That couldn't hurt. I don't know. I never took a parenting class. Oh, hold on. Let me get CK in here because I don't want him to have called me in. CK?
Praise the Lord, man. I heard you say call back in and you will have success.
All right. What's on your mind?
Man, you said you tell the kids you can lead the kids to the water and they're drinking. Because you saying you could raise them right or you could choose to raise them wrong. Because like you said, we know right from wrong. You know what I mean? So you said they should. Do you think they too young to carry the guns, or you think they're responsible enough?
I don't think teenagers should be carrying a gun necessarily. Like,
right, because of the age.
Yeah. Now, there are some exceptions in my mind, but even to go into them, there are very few exceptions. Like, look, maybe if your teen is a very responsible teen and is being threatened by people who are known to carry firearms, then you might want to put a mechanism in place so that they can protect themselves in the worst case scenario. But other than that, no, I don't think kids should be carrying guns.
Right. Like, education is, like, you remember when I told you, put God first, have faith in the youth. Education is the only way to the truth. At no certain point did I emphasize guns because, when I had that call with you last week, you made a valid point. We don't know who the psychos is going to be that's just going to jump off the deep end and shoot up a school. So, like I said, I don't want to take your rights away from you because of some damn fool killing kids. You know what I mean? Up in Connecticut or any other part of the country. So I had to give you props for changing my mind on that. But you have to put the morals and integrity into these people. Because I took your advice too. Remember you said you need to go to counseling with your dumb ass a couple months ago?
I do not ever remember saying that to you, the dumbass part. I do.
Yeah, you had a whole show about it.
I remember telling you to go to counseling, but I don't remember saying specifically you need to go to counseling with your dumb ass. Even though that do sound like something I would say.
Right. Remember you said I'm about to be myself. I'm going to stop this politically correct bull. I'm going to be myself. That's your self talking. Like, take your retarded ass to counseling. But you said you never went. But I went this weekend, and guess what dude said? He said something that stuck to me. He said, I wanted to end my life, but I was too much of a coward to do so. And I was like, that's deep. Because it takes a strong person to end their life because you don't know what's on the other side. You know what I mean? Like when you lose everything, you don't know how you react.
Okay. How did it?
Go ahead.
Wait, so you actually did go to counseling?
Yeah, it was 100 people. It was like 100 people, And everybody tell their stories, their success stories or their failure stories. You know what I mean? I told them how when I came out the womb, I got dropped on my head, so I'm a little what they call a few French fries short of a Happy Meal or whatever. You know what I mean? But that that longing for death is inevitable. Like you want to kill yourself, but then you scared to do it because you don't know what's on the other side. And people just talking about how they hit rock bottom and then they could come back from it.
Okay.
You say you never participated in that?
No, sir.
Yeah, you got to try because you can help people, man. You can help people. There's a lot of people down and out. Yeah.
Well, I think, hopefully it wasn't just a group of people. Hopefully there was a professional there to help steer everybody. And I'm not a professional to help steer people in that direction. So I don't know how much help I would be.
No, because they look at your story. They look at your success, the way you bounced back in life and became, one of the most successful talk show personalities. You know what I mean? So they see how you succeeded, and then look at what you got that other people don't have that they thriving for. Even Money Mayweather ain't got what you got. He got all the money in the world, but he wish he had what you had.
No, what do I have?
You know what I mean? A loving wife, 50 Cent. Oh. They can't trust. They so successful. They can't. Everybody they meet, they think they out to get them. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So when you have that person you've been with for, and kids, they got the kids, but now it's like I heard 50 Cent say he refused to get married because it's like a business plan, and so a lot of times that's why when you see people that got a lot of money and they be jealous of you, it'd be stuff like that you overlook it. You'd be like, why this dude bullying me? He a billionaire. But then he looking at the loyalty and the strength you got.
CK, just to be clear, because there's some questions. You were not in a group therapy session with 100 other people.
Yeah, it was like 100 people, man. It was 100. It was 100 people, but we got sectioned off though. They got groups. They grouped it up to about like 12 people, but it was 100 people initially. What? You know what I mean? Everybody trying to get their life back on track.
What was this for?
Like you people want to end their lives and stuff like that because of the trauma and stuff they're going through and, financial hardships.
So you went to like a suicide prevention seminar or something?
Yeah, because I don't want people to end their life because of what they're going through. Even though I be wanting to end my life because of what I went through. But it is a rainbow at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, you kind of... So that's why I say when I talk to you, you make breakthroughs. Like I don't... Remember you said you want to be right. I don't really want to be right. I just want the answers. I want the truth. And that's why somebody like you could carry a pistol because you don't have suicidal tendencies. But like me, you put the gun in your mouth, you shaking it, but you scared to pull the trigger because you know what I'm saying? You don't want to end your life. I mean, you want to end it, but then you scared of what's on the other side. It's like a dilemma. Catch 22.
Okay. Well, hopefully.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully, that's successful. You said it was helpful, so maybe, you do it again, maybe even do some individual counseling. And, that's good, man. That's good.
Yeah, because the people let me know, and the people was telling me like, man, that shit you talking about ain't nothing. Look what happened to me. These people paralyzed, paraplegics, you know what I mean, can't walk, you know what I mean, lost their children, been to prison and stuff like that. So then they try to tell you like, the little bullshit you talking about ain't nothing compared to what I'm going through. So that's what gives me hope.
Okay.
Because when you look at your personal situation, it's like, I don't know how that feels, but I know how this feels,
Right.
To be at the heights and then, I mean, just have you ever lost it all before? Lost everything you had, like?
I don't know. I mean, I've left everything behind before for peace of mind,
Yeah.
but lost everything. Maybe those are the same. But to me, when you say you lost everything, that is different than leaving everything, because mine was a decision. It wasn't taken from me. It was a decision to leave it. And there's a power when you can say, I'm leaving all that shit behind and I'm moving on for my peace of mind, as opposed to I'm taking all your shit and now what you gonna do? So, yeah, I don't know.
And you got to remember the highest percentile of these suicides is because mothers are so attached to their children. So a lot of times when they lose their children to murder, homicides, or to maybe a fatal accident, a lot of mothers can't deal with it, and some of them commit suicide. And I was talking to this woman, I was giving her hope, and she was giving me hope as well, because it's real out here, and it just be so much pain and tragedy we dealing with,
Well, CK, I hope you stay on your path, because you're saying that you still have those thoughts, those suicidal thoughts. So I hope you stay on that path and you move past that. Believe it or not, I guess you are one of the few people that I hope don't find out what's on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Because that is what stopped you from taking your own life a few times. So hopefully you don't find that out until you no longer have those thoughts. But
it's inevitable.
Keep on that,
then you get hit by a bus, right?
No, keep on that path. If you need to go and get more group counseling, or if you need to go get individual counseling, I don't know if the word proud is a good word to use. I'm proud of you for being willing to say, I need some counseling and I'm going to get it. And then for being willing to, be open and transparent and share that you did it and that you took something away from it helpful.
Yeah. And the good thing about your show, when you talk about your kids and you show your grandbaby on here, that's uplifting to the community, because they give you so much to live for, and you inspire people because with your love towards your own family, and you showing people, oh, I want that. I want to make it to that. That's why you should never disrespect old people and dead people, because you're gonna be both of them if you don't get die young. So when I see you, talk about how successful your family is, and it looks like your grandbaby is going to be highly successful, when she grows up, because she has a great foundation around, and I really appreciate what you're doing for the community. That's why I always call and thank you for uplifting. You saving lives every day you come on here. So them days you miss, them lives we lost. Them days you come on, them lives saved. You got to do it like that, brother, because the world loves you, especially America.
CK, I appreciate your call, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. That was CK. All right. Look, again, like I said, if he's having suicidal thoughts, reaching out to somebody to help with that, I respect that. No doubt about it. Let me see. Somebody says something. I did kind of want to address this. Kenneth says, don't piss no more people off. Bro, I can't help that. The truth is the truth. I try to tell the truth. When I say the truth, I mean just things that are factual, that might not feel good to hear, but like not even arguable things. It's like, no, this is a fact. This is the truth. And if that makes somebody mad, I do want to know this. Somebody tell me this. Why do people keep feeling like it's okay to issue sometimes veiled and sometimes quite overt threats towards me? Like, one of these days I'm gonna get mad. One of these days I'm gonna get mad about it, and I'm gonna deal with it in a different way. Like, come on, y'all. We live in a society where People are allowed to have their own opinions. People are allowed to, feel what they feel, believe what they believe, say, for the most part, what they want to say. Just because people say stuff that you might not like, we gotta move past the whole, well, let's become physically violent with them. We gotta move past that. That's not, come on. Inviting people over to your house to murder them is not the way to handle a problem. And like I tell y'all this, this is me for real. This is me for real. I don't really do the whole fighting thing. Like, I'm not afraid of a fight. I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever run from that's not true. I did run once. I ran from a fight once. And that's a whole story in and of itself. But I don't run from fights. I'm not afraid to fight. I'm not afraid to win. I'm not afraid to lose. But I'm a grown person now. If we gonna fight, either I'm getting paid to fight, like I will, if the money is right, I will fight Mike Tyson right now for the right money. And I'd give 100%. I'd try to win. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to fight you, what's in it for me? Because just beating somebody up or getting beat up, that ain't where it's at. That ain't where it's at. I'm grown. So I always say to people, I've had people threaten and want to fight me over things that I've said. Here's what I say. This is honestly, I've said this to people. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'll fight you under these conditions. If I win, from now on, you have to agree with everything that I say. If it goes against what you believe, you have to change your whole belief system to my belief system because I won this fight. And they be like, that don't even make no sense. I don't like, then what we fighting for? I said something that you didn't like or something you didn't agree with, right? Yeah, it was disrespectful. Okay, you feel like I was disrespectful. So what are we fighting for? Because I still believe what I said. You still believe it. So what are we fighting for? If we gonna have this fight, it's got to have some meaning. So if I win, you agree that I was right, and you would change your whole belief system from here moving forward. It don't make sense. It don't make sense because if I win, then I just won. You still feel like you was disrespected. If I lose, I still feel like I was justified in saying what I said. So what did we accomplish? Maybe somebody beat somebody up. What did we accomplish? Just the whole idea of just getting into a physical altercation because you didn't like something somebody said doesn't make sense to me anymore. It doesn't make sense to me anymore. It accomplishes nothing. And I don't know, maybe I'm past the idea of feeling, I can physically beat you, so that makes me feel better about what you said. I don't know. I can't. I'm just not. But yeah, no, people just keep threatening me. Just come on over here. Come over to my house. I'll show you what murder is. Who coming to your house to be murdered? You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how I got on that. And no, maybe that's a story for another day, Sierra. Maybe that's a story for another day, but I did run from a fight once. Oh, it's a hilarious story. Or at least it was hilarious for me. Let's see. Mike Tyson for 75,000. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Mike Tyson is a six-figure fight. Six-figure fight. You get me and Mike Tyson in the ring. You offer me, $3-4 million. I will fight Mike Tyson for $4 million. And I will give it 100%. Like, I'll for real try to knock Mike Tyson out. Bob and weave and the whole nine. I would give it 100%. Lewis said nothing wrong with running from a fight. Live to fight another day. Well, I mean, this is when I was young. I haven't actually been in an honest situation where I felt like a fight was imminent since high school. Since high school. I've been threatened a lot. But I've never been in a situation where I felt like, oh, this is about to go down, like for real, since I was in high school. So, you know. Livingston is pricing himself out. $3 million is way too much. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. If I'm gonna fight Mike Tyson, bro, and I'm gonna really do it, like, I ain't taking no dive. You know what I'm saying? I'm a really, bro, no. It's got to be for real something in it for me. Oh, boy. Stop. I'm not dreaming. I'm just saying, like, I would do it. No one is coming up to me. Like, nobody has offered. You know what I'm saying? I've thought about it. You know, people, would you fight Mike Tyson? Like, for $3-4 million? Yeah, I would. Yeah. I'm thinking about the money. You know what I'm saying? I've won fights. I've lost fights. It is what it is. Well, worst case scenario, he knocked me out, bite my ears off. You know what I'm saying? That's worst case. I get the ears taken care of, get my head back together, and I'm rich. I know some of y'all is like, $4 million ain't rich. For what? Let's say I go 4 rounds with Mike. Let's say I go 4 rounds with Mike. That's $1 million for 3 minutes of work. I'll take that. But how much did you make? $1 million for every 3 minutes. Yeah. And if I only go 1 round, which is more likely, but you never know. I could catch him with a lucky shot. Don't count me out before I even sign the deal. Don't count me out before I even sign the deal. Oh, Fame. I was there. Okay, there he is. I see. He's there. Fame.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. How about you?
I'm pleasant, per usual.
What's on your mind?
So as you all know, it's Spain Rothstein, a.k.a. Hacksaw Jim Thuggin.
Hold on. Wait. You sound a little muffled. Am I on a speakerphone or Bluetooth or something like that? That's a simple question.
Is that better? Is that better?
I believe so. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I was on a Wi-Fi phone.
Okay, yes. Start all over.
Yeah, this is Spain Rothstein, a.k.a. Hacksaw Jim Thuggin. And I think missing these kids, our as black people, was that we don't get involved into mass shootings and whatnot and terrorizing the innocent. But however, when you got people shooting at the Black Family Reunion and whatever happened last summer, Pyatt Park or whatever was supposed to happen over this weekend.
Oh, Fame.
It was like, yeah.
You breaking up really bad.
I'm sorry. Is this any better?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, like I said, the thing that our staple, our calling card as black people used to be that we didn't endanger the innocent with our gun violence. Everybody has gun violence, every community, but we didn't endanger the innocent. It was usually, crime on crime or something like that. At worst, that a man, kills his wife or whatever. But it was never, the innocent were never involved, and that's what the problem with these reckless ass kids are doing. By having shootings at Pine Park, Smale Park, or whatever it was downtown last year. The 16 and 19-year-old fight and start shooting at each other, and then this kid up at well, we don't know that he's black up at Kings Island, but like you said, we can very much assume based on the new neighborhood, or he could have just been a slick ass white boy. They got a few of those in Westwood too, but and yeah, that's the issue. They're becoming reckless, and bringing the violence outside of the community. And my thing is like, hey, if you got to that point, I mean, people shooting at metro buses, things like that. It's like, damn, if you got that, if you're to the point where you need to carry a gun or you think somebody's after you, keep your ass inside. Stay away from the innocent. We don't deserve that to be blasted because you got an issue with somebody else over nothing that I ain't got a damn thing to do with. Don't endanger me and mine over y'all little petty little $20 bag of weed or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's being lost in this.
I do. I know what you're saying. On the other hand,
there's no other hand.
There is no other hand. There's always another hand. Except for unless you're a one-handed person.
If you're out here shooting people.
There is always another hand. On the other hand, if I'm doing something and then I feel like you start shooting at me or something, what, I'm supposed to just take a bullet because it's innocent people around?
That's what I just said. If you even are to the point where somebody's at your ass, you don't got to come outside.
No, bro. No.
It ain't about not being scared, not being a punk.
And I'm not talking about that.
That's what I'm saying. They're all irrational.
I get to live my life.
The shooters or the victims, they're all irrational.
I still get to live.
These people are the most irrational people alive.
What did you say?
This crop of youth right now, this crop of youth aged 13 to 25 are the most irrational humans that ever lived.
I don't know that's the truth, but
I mean, they're the most irrational humans to live in your lifetime and mine.
I don't know if that's true either, man. I'm looking at my generation and your generation, and we did a whole lot of the same stuff that they doing now.
And you ain't just like you said, guns weren't even accessible like that when we were kids. To be out there to the point and innocent victims getting shot. I mean, like you said, Turnbow kind of walked into some shit.
Look, 30 years ago, I was in my 20s. 30 years ago, this gun violence was pretty much at the same level that it's at now.
I said, no, wasn't no 16-year-olds out there busting out at the Black Family Reunion or downtown at a major, local attraction.
That's not true.
Stop that. Emanuel, please stop.
Hold on. Hold on.
We cannot continue to distort if you're going to be in that type of state of disbelief.
Fame. So when do you believe that the rise in violence happened?
Probably about the last 15 years ago. What? With the proliferation of the video games, they're very lifelike looking. These characters look lifelike. It started with the video games on sports. The Maddens and the 2Ks. The players look so real. So that graphics, that animation carry over to the shooting games, the Call of Duties, the Red Dead Redemptions, things like that, where they shoot you, kill you, and spawn. You respawn right on the surface. 50 cents.
So you don't think that violence really started to take a hold of the community until like 2008?
I'm gonna say a little bit before that, like right around 50 Cent. Because him getting shot 9 times and surviving and becoming a 100 millionaire and beyond. That's kind of so out of the norm that people don't realize that it's not. that that's not supposed to happen. That guy was supposed to die. Somebody with a bad shot.
Oh my goodness. What I'm telling you in all honesty that what you're saying is not true. Violence.
I mean, you can disagree. That don't necessarily mean it ain't true. It's my truth. You know, like the last caller, you know, CK, who I really want to rip a new one, but I'm going to let him live, you know, pardon the pun, I'm going to let him live because every time I call in, he tries to talk shit about me, you know, after my call. I could roast him, but I'm not going to. I'm going to let him live, you know, since he going to come out with all that. But when he's talking about 50 Cent, talking about
But, hold on.
he can't find a woman and this and that and the other.
Wait.
No, 50 Cent can't find love because his money ain't honest.
Fame.
He got lucky.
Fame.
Yes.
Fame. You ever heard of this guy? His name was Tupac Shakur.
Yeah, complete asshole.
Okay, hold on.
Complete asshole.
Okay, whatever. You know, he got shot a number of times, right?
Yeah. He shot himself as well.
You know when he died?
I guess what, September 6th or 13th or somewhere around there, 1996.
So this is a young black man who was gunned down.
Well, he involved himself in a situation he had no business doing that.
In the 90s.
He went and punched a known killer.
But this was
He
still
punched a known killer.
Look,
no,
Fame,
he brought a knife to a gunfight and punched a known killer.
Fame. This was still the 90s. That's what I'm telling you. The idea that violence didn't take a hold until 2008 don't even
it wasn't so readily available.
It was
like Tupac wasn't walking. It was like you could see the dude was going to die. He's up there on records talking about sleeping with somebody's wife. It's like, dude, just go ahead and write your own death certificate right now. You're going to do all that.
Dude, they were committing acts of violence before that. This is not new.
But not on the mass and not on the innocent. Tupac was not innocent.
Even on the innocent.
He was not close to innocent.
Even on the innocent. Where there have been innocent bystanders.
A rapist,
talks of innocent.
A rapist, he had it coming.
I'm not, well, I don't know that he had it coming.
That was a bad example. You brought it up. I did several videos on why this guy was the worst thing that one of the worst things that ever happened to the community.
But you're missing my point. Fame.
No, your point was invalid. That's what it was. That was a bad example.
No, that was a great example.
It was not, but I'll humor you.
All right. That's it, Fame? You got anything else?
I have nothing further, Nathan or Emanuel. It's always been a pleasure, and I enjoy talking to you. We are enriched and ennobled by your service to the community. Please be well.
All right, man. He's off. He's off on his years. He's off. Violence been happening. Innocent bystanders been getting shot. That didn't start in 2008. Okay, whatever on that. I do agree in part with the idea, and I mean, it sounds good. Look, if somebody got beef with you, don't come outside. That sound good, but in reality, that's not even really an option. It's not even really an option. I think the option is raise your kids, reach out to other people in your sphere, and I think we have to begin to, at a very young age, identify at-risk youth. When I say at-risk youth, and when I say a very young age, I'm talking 4, 5. Identify at-risk youth, and that might even be a little late, and become a part of their life to show them that there's another option. Exactly how you do that, I don't know. You might have to befriend some people that you might not necessarily typically be around, want to be around. And when I say at risk, I mean, you see them. You see their parents. You see their parenting style. You see the mentality of their people, you see the kids who you look at, the little kids, and you be like, why she letting her kid do that? Why she letting her kid do that? Them the kids that need you. Because a lot of times that parent don't care. Or they have those bad morals. And they need an alternative. They need an alternative. They need something poured into them that's not toxic. Wyatt says Derek Turnbull was an innocent bystander. Yeah, we talked about Derek Turnbull earlier. So, yeah, the idea that violence didn't start taking innocent bystanders until 2008-ish is easily dismissive. But yeah, no, you gotta grab some of them other kids. You gotta grab some of them other kids. Let me see. I only got like a half hour left. Again, sharp turn. I saw a thing on the internet. On Facebook or whatever. And I don't know why it bothered me so. I don't remember who it was, but there was a discussion. And the discussion was asking men, if your baby mama, I know a lot of y'all hate that term, but you understand what they saying, was in a relationship and her I guess her dude was beating on her, would you come to her rescue? Your baby mama is getting physically assaulted, is getting beaten by her boyfriend or whatever. Would you, as the baby daddy, come to her rescue? Is that your responsibility? You got a woman. She got a child. Y'all ain't together. Not necessarily enemies. Not whatever the relationship is. It's your baby mama. And you hear tell that the dude that she's seeing put his hands on her. Are you obligated as the father of her child to, quote, come to her rescue? Or even if, like, there's an active situation where you get a call from baby mama. Hey, he putting his hands on me and he, girl, I'm about to kick your ass, whatever. Are you obligated to go to her rescue? And there was a mixed bag of yes and no. There was a mixed bag of yes and no. Now, some people were saying, no, that's her issue. That's her issue. We ain't together no more. Some people said, look, if my child is there, physically sees this, my child can't see this. Some people were saying, it don't matter if my child see it or not, my child is going to feel that stress. And so I have to step in and not just call the police, but now step to do. Not have a conversation, now step to do. Is it your responsibility as the man in that situation, as daddy? Is that your responsibility? Of course, I have thoughts on it. But I want to hear what y'all say. I want to know what y'all think. Women, I want to know what you think as well. You got a baby. You seeing a dude out of nowhere. Let's not even really discuss that. Let's buy into the fantasy that this stuff just happens out of nowhere. So out of nowhere, he begins to physically assault you. Is it your baby daddy responsibility to come and rescue you? I'm just curious. Lewis says, yep. Yep. Terry says, call the cops. Call the cops. Wyatt says, I will help. I will help. She has my child. The child may see the abuse. That's all my responsibility. Okay. Anthony, unless he's doing it in front of my child, I don't know. Terry says, nope. Sean say, call the police. She might have to take that L. I'm not dying over her. All right. LaDonna said, I don't know. I wouldn't want to get killed. Well, so you don't think it's a man's responsibility? Terry said, who has custody of the child? In this case, let's say the mama got custody. Now, this may or may not be happening in front of the kid. So if it's happening in front of the kid, do you have a responsibility there? But if it's happening and the kid is nowhere around, do you have a responsibility there? Why I say we fighting. I don't like dudes who hit women anyway. All right. Donna say call the police. Daryl says definitely we fight. All right. Scott say somebody call 911. All right. Women, what say you? Is it a man's responsibility? Y'all not together no more, but y'all not necessarily enemies. Is it a man's responsibility if that dude put his hands on his baby mama to step to him, to come to the rescue? Terry said, how do I find out the truth? If it happens in front of my kid, I'm going for custody. She can call the cops. Ben said, I'm not gonna let him hit her in front of me, but I'm definitely not pulling up. Okay. Nikki said, if we not enemies, he better help. Okay. He better help. So it is like his responsibility. Scott, he ain't touching the kid. He hitting the mama. And the kid may or may not see it. You can address it either way. Kenneth says, these cats out here know who to try that with. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Virginia says it's not his responsibility, but if he's a good guy, he should help. Ooh. If he's a good guy, he should help. Interesting. LaDonna say, you do all of that, the woman take the dude right back. All right. Janet say he should try to help the mother of his child. But if he can't stop the violence, he should attempt to gain custody of the child. He should try to stop it. And what I'm saying is, this is actively happening. You get a call, furniture is moving. She done got to the cell phone, and she's saying, he trying to get me, or he hitting me. You at home. Is it your responsibility? Get up, get in the car, drive over there, and rescue her? Or do you say, you chose him. You better call the police. Terry say, if she calling me for help, why she not calling the police? It's a good question. Tina want to know where the real men at. This was something that came up during this conversation that I saw online. Men were giving their opinions. Yeah, I would leave and go right over there. Now, she on her own. I would call the police. I wouldn't do nothing. I would try to get custody of my kids. I was in all of those different opinions. But there were a number of women, where the real men at? See, that's why there ain't no real men out here no more. So that's what a real man is. That's what a real man is. Terry said that sounds like a sneaky woman. Quintano said he going to get the kids. The rest is on her. Terry said he didn't choose that man, she did. Now me, I don't know. Well, let me say this. It's definitely not my responsibility. Definitely not my responsibility. It does all depend on the situation. It really does. But I don't know. I would say I'm much more inclined to just take it situation by situation. If my child is there witnessing this, that's a problem. I'm on my way. No question about it. If my child is there witnessing this, I'm on my way. And I would look at Mrs. Livingston. I already know how this would go down. I would look at Mrs. Livingston. I would say, I'm headed over there because this is what's going on. She would say, hold on, let me get my shoes on. And we would both head that way. We wouldn't be heading there necessarily to help the baby mama. We would be headed there to get my child out of harm's way. Now, if in doing that, it helped the baby mama. But if you at your cousin's house and my child ain't there and this is going down, hold on a second, Key, and this is going down, you better call somebody else. My child ain't there. Where my child? Where the little girl at? All right, I'm headed to get her so that she don't have to be around all that energy when you get home. But it's not my responsibility to make sure that she's safe, to make it stop. Retribution or none of that kind of stuff. You need to choose better. And now I'm mad at you for putting my child in harm's way. Because you should have knew. You know what I'm saying? You should have chose better. You should have knew. But hold on, let me get the Key. Let me get Key in here. Key.
Hey, what's going on, Emanuel? How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm hanging in there. Hey, everybody in the chat. Everybody thumbs up the live. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Okay, Emanuel, I missed the beginning part about the hat situation. What's going on? You having a bad hair day?
No, I just put on a hat.
Okay.
I wear hats from time to time. That's it.
I'm just asking because, like I said, I missed the beginning. I don't know if you explained it or not. I'm just asking. I didn't know if you was having a bad hair day.
No. Every day's a bad hair day.
You're a mess. But, yeah, I like the color, the purple, the tone of it.
All right.
Okay, you should put something on there. Afternoon experiment on there.
Maybe one of these days I will, but I got it and it was plain. Somebody said, am I a Lakers fan? Absolutely not a Lakers fan. Purple's my favorite color.
Oh, okay.
And I had it and I put it on.
Oh, okay. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up? What's the question again?
Your baby daddy, is he responsible if somebody, your boyfriend, your new boyfriend, start kicking off in your ass?
Oh, my goodness.
Is your baby daddy responsible for coming to your rescue?
I wouldn't say responsible. Like, that word responsible is like you, is your obligation, is your duty. That's what I think, like, when you say responsible.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then, too, like, okay, you just making this up because I'm about to say, what's the scenario as far as Are they on good terms, or what's the deal? Cause
I'm gonna say they on good terms, because a lot of times if you're not on good terms,
right, it's like F
yeah,
you,
right, exactly.
or you deserve it, or you better call somebody. You better tell that to somebody else. I wouldn't say it was, like I said, it's responsibility, but I would think like somebody was saying in the chat, I forgot who it was. If they're a good person or whatever, they will help out just because that's, you know what I'm saying, as being a man or whatever. It's like, I'm not about to let no man put no hands on this woman or whatever, and she has my child, so I would help her out in that sense or whatever. That's what I think.
All right. And since you're here, and I'm, you know, you did bring up the if he's a man, whatever. What if you my baby mama and Mrs. Livingston start trying to put her hands on me? You coming to put hands on her for me?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Because in that scenario, she shouldn't be putting her hands on you. It's the same. I think like nobody should be putting hands on nobody or whatever. But sometimes that do happen in different scenarios. The man or vice versa, the woman, just like with different stuff. So yeah. So if you call and we're on good terms or whatever, yeah, it's going down.
All right, and so you
if
telling.
I can't get there, then you call your sister.
Wait, so
or you call your cousin.
Just so I'm clear, you telling your boyfriend, y'all in bed, y'all just laying there watching TV or whatever, and I call you, it's 10:30, and I'm like, yo, Key, she is over here bugging, she putting her hands on me. You telling old boy, like, look, I got to go because Emanuel's wife is putting, or girlfriend is putting her hands on him. I got to go whoop that bitch ass. That's what you saying? That's how it's going down.
It's gonna be a discussion. Like we both got to be on the same table. Like say, now you ain't say I had a boo now. Because the guy didn't have a boo. The baby daddy, you ain't say he had a boo.
Yeah, I did.
I don't remember hearing you say that he had a boo.
I told you exactly how it would go down over here. I said, Mrs. Livingston, if that situation arose, and I said I got to go over there.
I'm talking about with if the guy was putting the hand on.
That's what I'm saying.
Mama.
Right now, if my baby mama, well, you know, my child's go.
But I'm talking about the first scenario.
That's what
you said. If the guy put his hand on the baby mama.
Right. I said if that happened right now, and I got a phone call, and I said I'm headed over there, I know what Mrs. Livingston would say. She would say, "Hold on, let me put on my shoes," because she going over there with me. So yeah, in both scenarios.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that part of the story. But yeah, like I said, yeah, it's gonna be some communication. It ain't gonna be like, oh yeah, and make my new dude think like, okay, what you helping him out for? Is you sleeping with him type situation? Because you know how they could think that too.
Okay,
whatever.
but if
so
you
it's gonna
single,
be some communication.
But if you single, Key, you telling me it's 10:30. I say, she over here trying to put her hands on me. You getting up, you turning off whatever it is you watching or pushing pause, whatever. You getting up, you getting dressed, you headed that way to whoop some ass.
If we got that relationship, if we on good terms, you're a good person to me, you take care of your kid, everything is checked down the line or whatever, and we have an understanding or whatever, and I know you would do the same for me, yeah.
That's a lot.
I might bring backup too.
That's a lot of. Hold on, that's a lot of qualifiers there. Now, when it was flipped, it was if he a real man, then he'd do it. When it's the woman, is well, if we in good terms and if we've had the discussion and if this is
right.
that and
no,
if
I'm saying like all of that got to, on both sides. If that's why I was asking you like how, what is it? They on good terms? I asked you that too about the guy too. I said they on good terms or what? I said that about the guy too now.
All right.
Play it back. Listen to it later. Play it back.
All right. I'll check it out.
Okay. Now, what happened last week? Did you get sick from your grandbaby?
No. The gentleman that I work with, he's got some things that he's working. He's dealing with some issues that he's handling right now, and so his schedule is a bit in flux. And so he asked me if I could be flexible with his schedule. So, he may call me tomorrow and say, hey, don't come in because I got to handle this. Or he may call me tomorrow and say, can you come in at 3:00 instead of in the morning? And if he does that, I'm making myself flexible for him because what he's doing is honorable, and I respect him, and that's just the way it is.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Emmanuel, yeah, in all fairness with that situation, hopefully won't nobody be having to fight nobody. Hopefully the person can just walk away from that situation and just get out of that situation, if it's the guy or the girl. So hopefully nobody will be having to fight nobody, and then nobody will have to, get hurt and then maybe get killed. Because nowadays people they got a short fuse. So hopefully in whatever situation with that, hopefully it won't have to come to that. Hopefully people can be adult and get out of certain situations, like you say, when they see the signs. But that's easier said than done. Like if you've never been through that, you don't know or whatever.
All right.
So, all righty, man. All right, everybody in the chat. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Can you do the same?
Okay. Bye.
All right. I saw where me and Wyatt disagree on this one. Wyatt says, I honestly think it's different. If the man is being hit, just leave. No violence payback. What? Look, people are people. Men shouldn't hit women. Women shouldn't hit men. If I said, what? Well, woman, if he slap fire out, you just leave. Just leave. Everybody would be like, what? No, because that's crazy. To think that it's okay for one human to physically assault another human, and then that human just, as if they're going to just let you leave. I've known women I can't say that I saw it firsthand. I've pulled guns on men. You ain't going nowhere. To pull knives on men trying to walk away. So the idea, if you ask me, this is a part of what's wrong with the whole domestic violence thing. This is why so many men get caught up for no reason. Because somehow, not that it's okay, but it's different. When a woman is beating a man, trying to stab a man, threatening to shoot a man, he ain't a real man. He could just walk away. If it was that simple, maybe he would just walk away. But that same thing could be said about a woman. Just walk away. Well, no, she can't just walk away because he's stronger and he ain't gonna just let her, and then he might follow her and he might do something to her. A woman can do the same thing. A woman can do the same thing. But to put out there the idea, because this is, and I'm not saying that this is what you think, but this is the idea that's being floated. Violence against women is really bad. Violence against men, it shouldn't happen, but, oh well. No. Violence against people is really bad. It's really bad. People get stabbed and end up dead trying to walk away. Even from women. Even from women. This has been one of my big issues, because I really have seen and experienced this system be so unfair because of that mindset. Because of that mindset. And I don't like that. I don't like that. Now, again, do I believe that it's anybody's responsibility to go to anybody's rescue? No. I mean, except your child. I wouldn't want my child to see that, and I wouldn't want my child to experience that energy. So that's why I say if she over a cousin's house and he doing something, I'm going to go pick up the little girl and bring her to my house so that when you get home, you be, that energy, my child ain't absorbing that. Oh, well, hold on. Let me. Caller?
Yes. Is this Emanuel?
How you doing, sir?
What's going on, man? How you doing? I'm enjoying the topic, and I thought since you brought up what I said, I thought I would say something.
All right.
This is Wyatt.
Yes. But y'all, this is Mr. Randall Wyatt the Great.
It's just Wyatt. It's just Wyatt. Hey, man, look, I understand where you're coming from, but there's some fellas in the audience who clearly know what I'm talking about when I say, do you guys curse on your show? I'm sorry, man. I try to be as professional as I can, but sometimes they slip and slide.
I don't cuss, but you can cuss.
Okay, well, sometimes shit just don't work out for fellas the way they do for women when it comes down to the domestic violence thing.
True.
And what I mean by that is, bro, vendetta it's just a little bit different for folks. Like, give you a perfect example. If a guy is beating my baby mama, is what people say. I say the mother of my child.
Mm-hmm.
If they're beating her, chances are when I go check him and go handle my business with him, he's not going to the police. Because, that's just some type of thing. When a dude fight, they don't go usually press charges. Now, if it's flipped the other way around, like you said, you added that to the conversation where if the guy is being beat by the girl,
mm-hmm.
that girl is going to do something a little bit different than the guy who was doing the abuse. Chances are part of her get back is going to be calling the police on your sister or whoever your baby mama is who came over and whooped her butt. So now it's going to be more of a problem for you. Not only, the fighting that's going to continuously go on, but now you're going to be in the court system because that girl who got beat up fighting the guy or hitting the guy first, now her retribution is going to be, I'm filing charges on y'all. The guy who's beating the woman, chances are, if your brother or your cousin or your baby daddy or something go over and beat his ass, he going to take that L. He's just going to fight and they going to break up or whatever. But the girl who's doing exactly what he's doing, I guarantee you she's going down to the court system to file charges. And that's not going to go well. She going to file charges on the father of the child and and the girl that you have come over there and beat her up. I've seen it a million times.
Wyatt, I understand what you're saying. But here, and there's a person who's calling in. I only have one line. So when Wyatt hangs up, please call back. I understand what you're saying, but let me disagree with you a little bit. I think a lot of times what happens is if he go to the rescue, if I go to the rescue, right? My baby mama, and we get into it.
Which one we on? I'm a little confused. I'll be honest. I'm a little confused. Are we on? Your baby mama is now being abused by a guy.
Yes.
And now
I'm going to the rescue.
To go check him, or you have that option.
Yes.
That's where you are. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
What I've seen happen is, you're right, he might not call the police. But now it's a whole different situation. Because his ego is involved in everything. So now I got to watch my back. Because I don't know when he going to come up on me again. Weapons become involved. Now my life is in danger.
Man, this is where we disagree. Usually them type of dudes, man, they take that ass whooping and move on to another girl or something because now they know that girl got back up. He don't even really want to be with her no more.
Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you, that's how it go, bro. He don't want to be with somebody that all she got to do is make a call and that's his ass. He don't want to be with her.
No, bro. I'm not sure. And hopefully, wishfully, that would be the situation in many situations. But that's not the situations that I've known about.
But it's not the situation all the time either. But chances are, like, no guy wants to be with a girl who all she got to do is make a phone call and all her brothers come in, her baby daddy and all. Who wants that? I mean, even if you got a guy that's not even really, like abusing her or fighting her, you don't want a woman that's that toxic where every time y'all get into it, she'll talk that, well, I'm going to call my brother or I'm going to call my baby daddy. And who wants to be with a woman like that in the first place?
And he might not.
You see what I'm saying?
Once that incident happens, he may or may not still want to be with her. But the fact that I came over and we got into it, now we going back and forth.
Meaning you and the dude, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, well, it's only going to take one visit. All I'm saying to you is this, from what I've seen, and I don't know what the audience, how they feel about it. I can't read the comments because I'm on the phone. But most of the time, those type of relationships, they end. I mean, there's a few that slip through the cracks, but most dudes that abuse girls, they are not with girls that got a lot of backup. They not with girls, they not beating up on girls that can call brothers and cousins and baby daddies, and they just don't be with them type of girls. They with them girls that got low self-esteem and don't have a lot of backup and by themselves and all of that. They don't really. That's
right.
the.
And
I'm not
again,
saying it's the case all the time.
And again, you might have a point. Like, I go over there. You know what I'm saying? We get into it.
Suckers beating up on them girls, bro. Them suckers in the first place. That's a sucker move anyway.
Okay, but you know what?
Try to be around people they can do that.
But you know what a lot of suckers do when they take a L? How do they respond?
What?
How do a sucker respond when he take a L?
It all depends.
He go get that gun. He go get that gun. Or he go get his boys and escalate it because he can't take that L.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible.
That's probable.
But it's a whole lot of them that just don't do all of that. For the most part, most of them bow down and they walk away, and that's just going to be the majority of the dudes. Now, you're going to have some guys that are very toxic and don't want to take that L, or the baby daddy or whoever go over there and he kick his ass the wrong way. There's a right way and a wrong way to kick somebody's ass. You can't threaten them after you done beat their ass and say, every time I see you, I'm going to beat your ass. You can't say that. Because if you do it that way, now dude guard is all the way up on 10. He ready to get at you. He got to protect himself in that. He turned victim then. But, most of them dudes, they just go away after that. Now, let's flip it. Let me get, because I know you short on time or whatever.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you that's not been my experience. But go ahead.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, it's different in the suburbs where you grew up. I'm just saying, down the way, man, they're gone. They go. But I'm just being funny. I'm just being facetious. But anyway, it's a little bit different with the girl situation. Can we twist it one time? Can we turn it the other way around?
Yes.
And I just think that if the girl is being the abusive person, if you send your sister over there, or if the baby mama go over there and start fighting her, she filing charges, bro. She ain't about to take no ass whooping, get drugged and all that old stuff, get embarrassed and all that. She ain't about to take that and not go down there and file some paperwork. Trust what I'm telling you. She filing charges on everybody.
That is
everybody, bro.
No.
The Uber driver that brought your ass over there, the whole night, everybody getting. I'm putting cases on all of you.
No. I disagree with that. I actually think it's much more the opposite way.
What the say?
Huh?
What? You say it's the opposite way?
Yes.
So you think dude that's abusive to a girl is going to go file paperwork after some dude came and beat his ass? He going to go file charges.
I do think that's possible, but that's not necessarily what I meant. I think, if anything, that woman is just going to be like, you know what? I ain't even dealing with this. F him. F that B, F all of them, and go on about her business. I got him, I can get another one, and that's going to be that.
Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense, too. That's a possibility as well. But we're talking about a woman that turned up, right? We're talking about an individual that don't mind putting their hands on a man. And we're talking about an abusive person. We're not talking about she just hit him one time. We're talking about an abusive person, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
but by the way, hitting one time is still abusive, just for the record.
Say it again?
Hitting one time is abusive, just for the record.
Well, it's kind of, okay. technically it is. But I'm talking about an abusive relationship. You know, if you've gotten hit one time in your relationship, you're not in an abusive relationship. An abuse situation may have happened one time, but that's not the definition of an abusive relationship.
Huh?
All right, because you got hit one time or somebody said something that was mentally abusive, that don't necessarily put you in an abusive relationship. You just had a bad spurt. You had a bad situation or something, but that don't make it an abusive, a whole relationship.
I don't know that we on the same page there either. Wyatt?
You think that one situation defines an entire relationship?
Let me ask you this. Mrs. Livingston, she upstairs, right? And she come down here. She say, baby, I'm on a conference call. Can you be quiet? And I go over there and slap fire out of her and say, don't tell me no be quiet. It only happened once. Is she in an abusive relationship?
How long ago?
5 minutes ago.
Did this happen?
5 minutes ago.
Well, yeah, like right now she's in an abusive relationship. But if it happened 10 years ago, I don't think she's in a relationship of abuse because of something that happened 10 years ago.
Oh. Okay. Look, we disagree. I think you don't slap her even one time. You're an abuser if you slapping her once.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but that don't define your entire relationship. That's just my opinion. I mean, I don't know how many people agree or disagree, but I mean, that's kind of a harsh example. I mean, it's reality. It's reality. I mean, if you cheat on your woman or something like that early in a relationship and it's been 10, 15 years ago and you've been honest and upfront and you've been a loyal individual, are you in a cheating relationship?
You're a cheater, yes.
You cheated.
You're
that
a
don't
cheater.
Make you a cheater.
Yes.
Forever.
Yes, you're a cheater.
I don't buy that. That's
she got to keep her head.
Rehabilitation there.
Bruh, she got to keep her head on the swivel. When you cheat once, that says to me that it's in you to cheat. And if it's in you to cheat, now I got to be watching out the whole time. Look, I couldn't be with nobody who cheated on me one time. You cheat on me once, that's it.
Well, there's a difference of opinion on a lot of that. I mean, I think guys see cheating a little bit different than women do. I've said that before on the platform. You know what I'm saying? I've had that conversation before. I think men, quite honestly, handle cheating better than women. I know they're going to hate me for saying that. I think men are very cut and dry about it. Most men wouldn't tolerate it where some women allow it. And I think that's the difference in how we handle the cheating thing itself. Just like abuse. If you hit Mrs. Livingston 5 minutes ago, she might not be there for another 5 minutes later. You may not see another 5 years or 10 years with it. That might have just
guaranteed I wouldn't.
Right. So I mean, but then there's some that would say, well, honey, let's work through this and see what let's give it some time. Let me see what happened. What are you going through? Everybody has a reason for why they stick around or why they might want to work something out. For whatever reason we might think is crazy, other people have some things that they go through that that they don't mind trying to stick it out and see what happens.
All right. It's still an abusive relationship to me, but I understand what you're saying.
Well, so you're saying if you hit Mrs. Livingston, hypothetically, if you hit her 10 years ago, and y'all been doing everything you've been doing, nothing's perfect, but you guys been living a regular life as a husband and wife, and 10 years ago you did whatever, you hit her or whatever one time or whatever it may have been, and everything since then has been great. You think that Mrs. Livingston has been in an abusive relationship for 10 years?
Yes.
Now?
Yes. And let me explain why. Here's why I think she's been in an abusive relationship. Because she don't know. Because it happened once, she really don't know if it's in me for it to happen again. So in my mind anyway, and she might, I don't know, as an amazing woman, just be like, oh, I just dismissed it, and it's as far away from you as the East is from the West. But in my mind, you remember he slapped the fire out of me. And that end could do that again. So you always got to be aware of that. So to me, that in and of itself is abusive. Yes.
I get it. I understand. I mean, I can understand how someone would say that that's an abusive relationship. I guess since I've seen so much trauma in life, you know, growing up in an area and seeing women get abused, that unfortunately, this is going to sound a little chauvinistic. I just think that I've seen women get abused. I've seen it. Like, I've been in a household with a woman that got abused, not as an adult, but as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the difference between something that may have happened once and then a consistent behavior of an individual. And I just think that there's a difference to me. There's a difference. And I think some women might understand, and some would be like, if he hit me once, I'm not going to be there. And see, we don't know the contents of whatever happened. We don't know how it may have happened. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
You know, it could have been a situation where a woman hit him first. And I mean, and here's another posed up question. What if she hit him because of something they were doing, and she hit him and then he hit her back? Is that considered, are they now in an abusive relationship? And then what point did the abuse start? When she hit and he hit back, or what?
The abuse started when who? It's just like
she struck him first.
Yeah, any two people. No one person should hit another person, but everyone has a right to defend themselves. So if I hit her, then yes, she's in an abusive relationship. And if she hit me back, she defended herself. If she hit me and I hit her back, I'm in an abusive relationship, and I'm defending myself because that person who initiated that physical violence, that or you know, whoever the aggressor is, that's creating the situation.
Yeah. I get it. And I mean, I just have to say that, you know, I think you and I have to agree to disagree on the fact that I think that an abuse relationship is defined in a consistent abusive fashion. I don't think somebody that did something 15, 20 years ago or 10 years ago should be considered that same person today. I don't think that that's a consistent behavior. That's like somebody that smoked weed one time. Now they're a weed head. I don't think so. I think people change. I think that you can't judge a person on one act. Some critical things you can, but not on all things. If that was the case, bro, I would be called a whole lot of different names, and you would too. We all have done something in our past that don't define us as who we are today.
All right. Hey, I understand what you're saying. I agree to a certain extent. For me, it's one of those exceptions. You hit me.
That's understandable.
Then,
all right, brother. Hey, I enjoy your show. Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate you and your listeners' time. Thank you very much. Have a good evening, you guys.
All right, Wyatt. That's Wyatt. Now, to the person who was calling in before, again, I only have one line, so you can call back now if you'd like to. 513-717-5464. But yeah, it's not my responsibility to go to her rescue. Oh, hold on. This person's calling back. Caller.
What's going on?
How you doing?
Pretty good. Hey, if I kill in one time, do that mean I'm a murderer?
Yes.
Yeah. I always say this. I'm going to say it again. That's why I only listen to young people, and I don't listen to nobody who's never been married. I've been married almost 20 years. I ain't never put my hands on my wife. So if you put your hands on your wife right now, or put your hands on your wife 10 years ago, you're abuser. Point blank. Let's stop playing. You cannot compare abuser with somebody smoking weed. That's apples and oranges, and that sounds real silly. Hey, man, I just want to tell you one thing. Women or men are different. I don't know why we're trying to make them be the same, because they're not. A man think with logic, a woman think with emotions. But nowadays, like I told you before, it's twisted now. We got more feminine men today than anything. And these women today, they're not playing that because they will pop you. So it's kind of twisted, but let's stop playing with the words. If you hit your wife 5 minutes ago, 5 seconds ago, or 5 years ago, you abused her. And she always going to remember that you smacked her. So let's stop playing. Peace out, bro.
All right. That's Blade. And look, I understand what Wyatt was saying. There's a logic to it. Well, me and Mrs. Livingston been together for 14 years now? Somewhere around in there. I'm gonna get in trouble because I don't be remembering stuff exactly. My brain don't work like that. But okay, if I slapped her on day 3, we've been together now for 13 years, 362 days, and I never did it again. Can she look at that and say, I've been in an abusive relationship for 14 years because it's something I did 13 years, 362 days ago? I understand the logic behind it. Just in my mind, that's always in the back of her mind. Call her.
What's up with it, E?
Hey, what's up? It's Twin?
Hey, man. This is Quinn. Yes, how you do, bro?
Good.
All right. Hey, so as far as the baby mama thing, man, look, I've been through the situation with not just for baby mama or whatever, and family members. You know what I'm saying? Like a cousin called, like, you know, and I've done it. I get in trouble for it, and that people don't call the police they people call the police. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you put it on them real bad. You know what I'm saying? That's their only real get back is to call the police and, you know, put you in jail. But, you know, I go to jail, I get out, they back together. So I did nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get involved. Now, if my kids is there, okay, I'm gonna get my kids, get them out the way, and y'all handle y'all. Y'all, you know, y'all work that out. You know what I'm saying? And the kids can come back when y'all work that out. But until then, I got the kids. Y'all do what y'all gotta do. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? And if y'all gonna be together, maybe the kids gonna stay with me. But I can't. I'm not getting involved with that. Not at all.
All right, and that makes perfect sense to me. But some people would say that means you're not a man, because a real man, they say, wouldn't let some guy put his hands on the mother of his child.
But I think a real man is gonna be around for his kids first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? And me going to jail don't help my kids at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I go beat him up. I go to jail. He go back with them. My kids still in danger. I'm still inside, and they, you know what I'm saying? I can't help them. I can't help them there at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I got love for my baby mama. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, choices that she made shouldn't affect how I move through, you know, move and take care of them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, that's just where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't put my energy into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my baby mama was a door that's closed. I'm not about to sit here and keep yelling at the door that's closed when there's a door open on the other side. You know what I'm saying? That's just stupid. So,
yes.
You know, and people make choices. You know what I'm saying? And nobody puts the accountability on the person who made the bad choice.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, you know, that's how I feel about it.
All right. Hey, Quinn, I appreciate you calling.
All right, brothers. Have a good one.
You do the same. All right. Yeah, but again, my issue, look, I respect both perspectives from the side of I'm going to go over there and handle business, or I'm going to go over there and get my kids, or that ain't none of my business as long as it ain't affecting my kids or whatever. I respect all of those positions. The position that I don't respect is if you don't go, you ain't a real man. And somehow it's different when it's a man and a woman. When you know what I'm saying, when you flip the situation, the woman is abusing the man. Some of the same women who say, you ain't a real man if you don't, that's your baby mama, you supposed to take care of her. Okay, what if it was the opposite way? Well, that's different. I don't respect you. I don't respect you. So it's the same both ways. It's the same both ways. Abuse is abuse. Assault is assault. So it's supposed to be, I expect him to be down for me because I know I'm going to be down for him. Or I don't expect him to be down for me because I sure ain't going to be down for him. One of the two, not I expect him to be down for me, but I sure as hell ain't going to be down for him. I don't respect that. I don't respect that at all. And just as another option, maybe try talking. What? That sounds crazy, don't it? Everybody think, oh, he over there beating her. I'm going with the he beating her. He hitting her. Whatever. Believe it or not, you can go over there and there are men who would be like, hey, this is my child. I'm over here to protect my child. But bruh, this ain't a good look, man. Like, look, because I don't see nothing wrong with having or trying to have a decent relationship with the person who's in a relationship with your ex. If y'all are co-parenting. And so if you've at least attempted to foster a decent relationship, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't enemies. Just because he hitting her, like hitting her, not hitting her. But just because he hitting it now, don't mean he your enemy. Hey, bro, you gonna do what you want to do. I ain't got no beef with you. We ain't together no more. And if you gonna be there around my child, in my child's life, we don't necessarily need to be enemies unless there's some reason for us to be enemies. But just your presence doesn't necessarily qualify as you being my enemy. Your presence doesn't necessarily qualify as you being my enemy. And if you fostered a decent relationship with him, and y'all ain't even got to be, oh, we going to go out and have beers. And no. Just, you know what I'm saying? You go pick up your child and you see him and you like, hey, what's up, bro? Dap him up. Hey, what's up? You know, that's it. That's all it takes. You show him respect. He show you respect. And then, believe it or not, that's respect. So you can walk into maybe a heated situation, but because of that respect, you can be like, bro, look, hey, let me holler at you for a minute. I know you heated. I don't know what happened. I wasn't here, but let me holler at you for a minute, bro, because you know this is only going to end bad. He might listen. You ain't got to go over there necessarily. Oh, I'm going to kick some ass. No. You might have to go prepared just in case. But foster a good relationship. And then that way, hey, I'm headed over there. Something going on over there. I'm a mediator. It works. I've seen it work. I've seen it work. So everything ain't always, have to have a fight. And that way no police are called on anybody. And then you might want to have a conversation with her. Ain't really no might. Hey, look. I don't know what happened. Kind of that stuff ain't really none of my business. But this cannot happen. This cannot happen around my child. I'm not saying I don't want it to happen. This cannot happen around my child. If you need to move on from him, you need to move on from him. If she need to come live with me, then she need to come live with me. But this cannot happen around my child. But that's a separate conversation. And then she, or, if the situations are reversed, he got a decision to make. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. I'm all up in Wyatt's time. And plus, I got some other stuff I got to do. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all understanding of the situation. I have every intention on being here tomorrow. But if I find out that I can't, I will post it on Facebook. So check my Facebook around 2:30, 2:45-ish. And I'll try to be much more consistent about letting y'all know when I won't be here and when I will be here. I'll try to be more consistent. You'll know. I'll post something around 2:30, 2:45. So just be aware. Just be aware. But again, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all's patience. I appreciate y'all understanding. I appreciate y'all's support. Until next time, I hope something amazing happens to you today. Something life-changing. All right? I'm Emanuel Livingston. This is the Afternoon Experiment. Until next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.